Good afternoon. March the 7th, 2016. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. Today is day number 13 in week number 7. Okay, let's get started. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to today's class. I must remind you we are already in week number 7. And I sent you this message this morning, okay? Actually this afternoon, about an hour and a half ago. So it's about your work coming up in the next 3 weeks. You still remember we have voted and got the result that you do not need to submit the set of learning artifacts for learning contract number 2, originally due by this weekend. Okay? So you do not need to do any specific submissions of the 6 important learning artifacts for learning contract number 2 by this weekend. Yet, it does not mean that you should not get yourself ready for the set of learning that is expected of you in the second learning contract. So I sent this message to you today to make sure you know what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks. Okay? First of all, this is the last week for learning contract number 2. The first question you need to ask yourself is, how much of SRL have you learned of based on the discussions in your table? Okay? So the first thing you need to know before you can embark on a journey for the next 3 weeks is, have you formed a team yet? Alright? So if you look at the team informations that I provide at the end of this teacher's message, you will discover that we should have 10 teams. But so far, I guess only 7 teams are formed. So the remaining 3 teams are yet to be formed. May I appeal to you that you need to give me the information of your team in detail before the end of today. Otherwise, it's very hard for you to get it done next week. Okay? So better say get started with your problem-based learning next week. So if you look at these particular table, you know that where you belong, particularly when you're conscious of which pair you belong. Yet, if you do not know anything about this, I've already done something for you here. I've updated the student teaming information table in week number 6 for you. Okay, let me see if I could somehow make it easy for you to read. Yeah, here we go. So you can check which pair you belong and whether or not your teaming information is available. Allow me to use the first one, Johnson. You belong to pair number 1. But you have not explicitly let us know which team you want to form by combining which pair to form your team. So, Johnson, pair number 1, make sure you discuss with your pair member, and then join with another pair so that I can give you a team identity. Alright? If you're Yudong, you can see that you belong to pair number 7, and you also belong to team number 7. So 7 seems to be very lucky for you, right? And then Star, you belong to team number 2. So, and so forth. Now for those of you, when you see the work not complete there, okay, in terms of teaming status, that means you have not given me your teaming details that is expected by the end of last Saturday. So make sure you got a team identity form before the end of today's class. So much for this. So let's get back to the teacher's message here. The second important thing that I would like you to be aware of in this teacher's message is that you need a problem to tackle the work in the third learning contract. Okay? In the first learning contract, which you have 3 weeks time to handle, or starting next week, your team is going to work on one problem. The question is, how do you get this one problem? Now suppose, let's do it this way. we have 10 teams. We really want you to work in terms of teamwork. And as I suggested, we're going to combine 2 teams together to form one task force. Now that's going to be challenging. Okay? That means in your task force, which contains 2 teams, you are going to work with one single problem. Okay, one single problem. And how do you come up with that one single problem? Now that's my question. Remember, in the first learning contract, each one of you is going to have one topic to work with. Okay, that's the topic oftentimes you use to write your journal. And you have to submit your journal. Indeed, in the first learning contract, you can check that you also need to submit your personal journal. Now the question that I would like you to be aware of is, in a team of 4 persons, you have 4 proposals in your table. In a task force of 2 teams, you have 8 persons in your task force. So 8 possible proposals. So how do you select one out of the 8 possible proposals in your table and engage your team member or task force member for work that has to be done before the deadline of the last learning contract? The deadline is April the 2nd. 3 weeks from this week. If you include this week, you have 4 weeks time, because we've already adjusted the schedule so that you do not need to submit the learning artifacts for the second learning contract, but you just need to focus on the work of the third learning contract. But it does not mean you do not bring forth the learning you're going to get for the second learning contract into the third learning contract. So the question that I have for you today is, do you have a team now? If you already have a team, the next job before the beginning of next week is to form a task force. Get another team who's willing to work hard with your team to get the job done in the third learning contract. Okay? Second, how do you come up with one single proposal for your task force to work with in the next 3 weeks in order to get the learning contract done and in order to learn the skills that are supposed to be very important in this last learning contract? What are the skills you need to learn? First of all, collaborations. How do you work things out with more than one person? Okay? For example, in this teacher's message, I have suggested one single method, which is one possible method for you to eliminate 3 other proposals from 4 that is on your table, given the fact that you work as a team. Okay? That is an example of a democratic process. But these process, given a team of 4 persons, require some time for you to get through in order to come up with one single proposal which you can suggest to your task force. Let's concentrate on what you can do. Okay, suppose each one of you brings to your team one proposal, which is one topic. Oh, someone asked me already last time, where are we going to get that topic? Well, principally speaking, you're going to get the topic from week number week number 8, week number 9, and week number 10. That belongs to learning contract number 3. But since we did not require you to submit anything for your learning contract number 2, so we also allowed you to select from week number 5, week number 6, and week number 7. So altogether, you have 6 weeks topics to select one individually. Okay? So now, if you have 4 persons in your team, the 4 of you are going to bring to your table 4 possible proposals. If suppose this is teamwork, and again it's a teamwork, for problem-based learning, you're going to select one proposal out of the 4. How do you do that? Now the message here gives you an example. Okay, the example is extensible to a task force of 2 teams with 8 persons. Let's say this is what you're going to do. You're going to do classwork, okay, in class, because now in class you have all the members with you. So what you're going to do now, suppose each one of you has already put on a table one proposal. Well, example of the proposal, you can go back to your learning contract number 1, which include a title, 3 specific questions you want to work with for that topic, 3 to find relevant references to support your investigations of the topic, and then 1 simple paragraph, not more than 200 words, which describe why you want to choose that topic. So suppose you have 4 such proposals on your table. Now, if you give each member 5 minutes time to tell the whole table members what your proposal is all about, you need 20 minutes, okay, in order to listen to all the 4 proposals in your table. Now, after that, you need the first round of elaborations to give score to each table, to each proposal. How are you going to do that? The suggestion here said, you do not give the score to your own proposal in a table of 4 persons. You give the score to the other proposals from the other members of your team. And the way you give the score include the following. Since you're going to give score to 3 other proposals, you only have 3 scores to use. The first score is 3, meaning most important. The second score is 2, meaning important. The third score is 1, meaning least important. And you can only use each of these scores once. Okay? So in a team of 4 persons, each member is going to give a score to the other 3 proposals. So at the end of that, remember, you do not give a score to your own proposal. At the end of this round of scoring, you collect the score of your own proposal and you calculate the total number of scores you obtain from your team members. Eventually, you will discover that there will be at least 1 proposal with the least number of scores. That means this proposal could be put on the shelf. Okay? And then you need to elaborate further to select 1 from the remaining 3 proposals on your table. So before you do the voting or scoring again, you need to give each member, only 3 of them now because only 3 proposals left, another 5 minutes to tell the whole tables of members the strength and weaknesses of the proposal of his or her topic based on the requirements of the first learning contract. Then you need another 15 minutes to listen. And then, after that, you go for another round of scoring. This time, you have 3 persons, because only 3 proposals left, and 1 person who has no proposal, because his or her proposal has already been put on the shelf. Okay? But, look at that. Let's start with the 1 person whose proposals has already been put on the shelf. These 1 persons in your team is able to give 3 proposals the score, because he does not have his own proposal, but 3 of them are in front of him. And he could give the score 3, 2, 1. Remember, each score can only be used once. And then so each of the 3 proposals will receive a score. Then the other 3 members, again, are required to give the score. But this time, he or she can only give score to 2 proposals because he or she is not going to give the score to his own proposal. And when he or she is going to give the score to the 2 proposals, he has only 2 scores to use. 2 means most important. 1 means important. Okay? So at the end of that, the 3 person is going to calculate the score obtained for their proposal. So eventually, 1 more proposal is going to be put on the shelf. 2 proposals will be left. And then, if the scores of the remaining two proposals are different, the one with the highest score wins. Okay? The one with the highest score wins. In case the two remaining proposals have the same score, you flip the coin. Okay? You flip the coin. Alright? So that is one suggestion of how you got one proposal from 4 available. Now, in a task force of 2 teams, eventually you will have 2 proposals, okay? Champion. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? And then between the 2 proposals with champion, you're going to work it out again with all the members vote, okay? After listening to that proposal's elaborations one more time. This time, when the task force has 2 proposals, choose one. The owners of the 2 proposals need to prepare something called elaborations to champion the proposals in the team. Okay? And of course, you understand what I mean. Another 5 minutes to tell the strength and weakness of this proposal compared to the other. And then, in a task force of 8 persons, excluding the 2 members, you have 6 remaining members to vote. Unless you got 3 versus 3, it's easy for you to get a champion. But that is something you need to learn in this 3rd learning contract. It's called a democratic process to champion one's proposal. So it's very important that you get ready your personal proposal in order to see if your idea could become the champion of your task force. Today, we have teams, okay? On Thursday, I hope your task force will be formed, okay? So, what you need to go for today is to work in class to get ready your personal proposal. Okay? Actually, you got 1. That comes from learning contract number 1. But when you look at the reading list of the learning contract number 1, it comes from reading list 1 to 4, the first 4 weeks. But in the context of this learning contract, we want you to select a topic from reading list 5 to 10. So that means each one of you has to select a new proposal. All right? The question is, there is one constraint that you need to appreciate. Because now you have a team, okay? Each of the 4 persons in your team must select a different topic from the topics that are available to you from week number 5 to week number 10. So, today you have something to do in class. First, if your team has already been formed, put together your team on a table and start getting one topic from each one of the team members. And then, if you can go on the process that is suggested in today's message for week number 7, get it done so that your team will have one proposal champion. And then when you come back on Thursday, when you have the second team line up to form your task force, you can elaborate on the final topic in your learning contract number 3. But that is what we call teamwork, and that is what we call communications, and that is what we call a voting process. Okay, may I just stop at this point, and if you have questions you want to ask me, you can just raise your hand and come to your table. If not, please now start your table work. You need to do something in class. Do you have any questions about the process that we have to go through for the first learning contract? Many hands, or better say, many people make things easy. This is one saying, but also a lot of saying will say, many hands spoil the work. Okay, how are you going to design your result? Can I invite you to just talk about your members in your team? Okay? If you have not, let me know who your team members are. Make sure you go around to make sure you got your teams formed. Okay? this is the time you need to do something like this. I will give you at least 15 minutes today, starting now, to work out your team membership. And then if your team is already been formed, to work out the topics. All right? You got it? You got it? Good. Thank you. Make sure you have a question. Raise your hand and come to your table. All right? In the meantime, within this 15 minutes, allow me to take attendance now so that we can save some time towards the end of the class. A lot of things to handle today. Read the teacher's message first. Ask questions, all right? It's time for you to talk, okay? It's your time now. Just go over the table where you want to talk. Make sure you got the fonts clear, all right? Make some meaningful choices. Now, I'm going to call for attendance at this point. Johnson, thank you. Hugo, thank you. Scott, thank you. Ken, thank you. Terry, thank you, Terry. Iris, thank you. Andy, okay, thank you. Christina, thank you. Gabriella, thank you. Sonia, thank you. Tina, thank you. Cleo, thank you. Joey, thank you. Winnie, thank you. Geoffrey, thank you. Danny, thank you. Nicholas, thank you. Gala, thank you. Thank you. Kareem, thank you.
Our teacher will know.
Xian, thank you. Louise, thank you. Raymond, Steve, Joel, Steve, Levine, not yet here. Okay. Serenia, thank you. Muffin, thank you. Fred, not here today. Okay. Michelle, thank you. Fatima, thank you. Heidi, thank you. Karen, thank you. Erica, thank you. Yoga, thank you. Gambo, thank you. Wina, thank you. Ada, thank you. Steve Chen, thank you. Zia, thank you. Khan, thank you. Hannah, thank you. All right, so with the attendance, make sure the question, raise your hand, I'll come to your table to make sure you understand what we are going to do. A lot of in-class work from now on. After the initial 30 minutes, 15 minutes, okay, I'm going to elaborate on the second important point in today's teacher's message, okay? You must have a topic for your team or task force to get started for next 3 weeks work in learning contract number 3. The most important thing is to go through the selection process, starting with each member with his or her own proposal, and give each person the equal chance to elaborate on the proposal of his own or her own, okay? In learning contract number 3, the amount of human resources to get the job done, it's 3 times in learning contract number 1. And in learning contract number 2, this is 2 times. But the technical challenge is you have a smaller number of jobs, but with a lot of controls in it. That could be up. Okay? I'm here, remember, if you need help to understand what you need to do, raise your hand. I'll come to your table.
Then
Just like your ID, just like your stuff. Did you read that? Just click the email. Just say Now remember, if you want all the members in your passport to be now there's one trick when we use read on the book. Sometimes you cannot enter the original. You select one name.
Yeah, you got.
Because it's actually, I could use some example of this class. Give it to you. Yeah. First, okay? Here, I'm here, I'm here. Any other questions? That's very good. Okay. Okay, we also have a number of students who would like to share today. So basically, I will reserve the time now to 5:15 to give you the sharing time. But let me tell you the most important thing is, do you understand what you need to do in learning culture number 3? It's very important. Before the end of this week, for me, your team should have 1 proposal come up from the 4 or 5 possible. So the second thing is your task force must be formed before the end of this week so that you can advise your task force team to get the same job done before next week. That means they also should get 1 proposal out of all the members of their team coming up. So starting from next week, your task force will have 2 teams with 2 proposals to select one. Okay? And it's very important you make the best use of the class time to discuss. Because you are a wonderful team and task force to get things done now. Learning how to get things done in class, asking me questions is very important. Alright? And now let me go back to the sharing of course once you got it. The first one, it's I guess for today. Let me see, it's yoga and brew, okay? Are you ready? You have 5 minutes. You can tell the whole class what you have prepared. Okay? It's on yoga and brew. Because it's signed here by yoga. Alright? Are you ready? Okay, if you're not ready, I can pass the second one. Okay? Okay. You're ready. Alright, so good. Remember, you do not need to have a lot of answers. What you need to do when you come to share here as an individual, pair, or team is do you have a good story to tell with questions for your fellow students to think and for discussions. Are you ready? Time is scarce. Alright, we can only offer 4 persons to do it today. Okay? Okay, please. Alright. Yoga and brew. The first pair we're going to share with us here. Thank you very much.
Out weakness in the size security systems. And the differences between hacker and tracker is hacker use their knowledge to only help the security of systems, whereas the cracker will use their knowledge to break the law. That's all.
Thank you very much. It's very clear. Hackers do not equal to crackers. All right. So thank you, Brew and Yoga. Let's see. We can still offer to 3 more speakers today. The second speaker after Yoga and Brew, it's Ken. Are you here, Ken? Okay, then maybe next time, right? All right. So after Ken, it's let's see, Heidi. Are you ready? All right. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you.
Welcome to Miami Regional Bank. How may I help you?
I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
Are you realized, Tyler?
I sure am, little lady.
The jump seat is open.
It's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
Dr. Connors to the ER. Dr. Connors to the ER.
This is irrefutable evidence that the defendant is lying.
Special Agent Henry, FBI.
Hello, Carl.
You're gonna get caught. It's like Vegas. The house always wins. Some best flat out the country posing as a pilot and calling the James Bond of the sky. Little pusher.
This is by far the best date I have ever been on.
He's a tip. That's why there's no record.
Dr. Harris.
Yes?
Do you concur?
Concur with what, son? I'm sorry I have to tell you, you sent us 5 checks.
I'll look part-time as a church now. Just tell me how much yours and I'm coming back.
$1.3 million.
Choosing 8 young ladies in your heart. Future serious program.
South America, Australia, Singapore. He's a self-president bank. Doesn't even know the difference. What do you want?
To apologize.
You didn't call to apologize, did you? You had no one else to call. I'm looking for your son.
I would never give up my son.
If you were a father, you'd know.
Stop chasing me.
I can't stop. It's my job. You see these people staring? I keep peeking over their shoulders, wondering, where are you going tonight? Where are you going, Frank?
Don't tell me not to fly, I've simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Don't bring around a cloud of terrain on my parade.
So we're gonna let him get away. No, Carl, you let him get away.
Nobody had a better parade on my parade.
Come in close eye. You will go to prison.
You have to catch me.
Wow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Who never wished this movie? Please raise your hand. Oh, you never wish this movie? Never. So all of you wish this movie? Why? We all know he's Leonardo. He got Oscar, but in this movie, he is Frank. And why I will introduce this movie? Because in next week, I remember the professor, he shared about haircut. And do you think he's haircut? This Frank? You think he's haircut? What's your name? Andy, you think he's haircut? In the non-talks ago, we know haircut is the person, is the bad thing he will use his computer and stole something information. So you think he's haircut? Yeah. You see this movie before? No. Who shot this movie? No one? Okay. Stop. You think he's hacker? Yeah. grades. He become the lawyer and become the doctor, but he never go to the law school. He didn't any about law, but he do this. And why I will talk this, because I think hacker is the person you didn't know about him. You never, maybe Gamble is hacker and he sit there and we never know he's hacker. But nowadays, I think hacker is a positive thing because hackers can help the government, help the police to get the murder. So it's a very interesting. And I think I'm very interested about the hacker. So I go to internet to do some information. It's about the hacking the future or hackers. So if you have interesting, you should to saw this movie. This movie will tell you about some privacy problem or some security problems. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Heidi. It's a very interesting piece, and thank you for stimulating the whole class to think further. So we still have time to go for at least one more speaker. Let's go back. Yes, after Heidi, it's Karen. You're the next one. All right, so help us to understand your concerns. Right here.
Everyone, I choose a reading. Its topic is common fraud schema. I choose this is only because it is posted by FBI. I think it's really cool. And in this article, it mentions lots of type of fraud, like telemarketing fraud and identity threat, advanced fee schema, lots of them. And because it is posted by FBI, the purpose of this article is to tell people how to avoid being fraud by others. So actually in this article, it just lists lots of kind of method to tell you how to avoid them. I think all of them are very important because after reading this kind of article, and if you follow all of the things it mentioned, I think you won't be hacking anymore because it lists lots of detailed things told you to avoid them. For example, telemarketing fraud. It mentioned lots of things we might know already. It's kind of, you have to know the company you want to buy in details, so you have to know lots of information from them, and you also have to know how to contact with your local consumer protection agency. It can help you when you're being hacked by being hurt by others, because you can report this issue to that agency, and it will help you to find out the person who did bad thing to you. But the most interesting I find out by this article is that actually we'll think it will find that some company will send a messenger to your house and to take money from you. And it will also say that it is our often because you don't need to use your credit card to send money to her. We'll be happy when we heard this. But actually, the purpose they're doing this is that they want to vanish any kind of cure that you can find in that company, because you give them money to that person directly and you did not have the information to contact them. So if you being hurt, you don't know where can you find a person to ask for to ask for something to pay for you. And that's all for today's sharing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's also the difficulty of tracking down those criminals, hackers. You never know where they are, right? If they're in cyberspace, it comes up, looks like a real person. Let's see, Star will be on first stage. Gia, are you ready? Yes, we still have time for you. Thank you.
So this time I'm going to share something about the ethical problems of hacking. As we know, there is a debate over the meaning of the term hacking. Both good and bad reasons and uses for hacking exist. In other words, hacking can be unethical, but it does not have to be. Some prefer to differentiate the terms hacking and cracking, with only cracking indicating a negative condition. However, most people would probably define hacker as someone who breaks into a computer. So today I'm going to only talk about hacking. Individuals who possess the skills or even the attitude of a hacker can certainly use them for evil. Apart from activities which are simply illegal, many applications are clearly wrong. For example, there are some people who do use these skills to access trade secrets, emails, password, etc. for various criminal purposes. Cyber attacks between two countries are also incredibly common because so much of our life is controlled, at least in part, by computers. And hackers are particularly defined by their ability to control computers. Their control, at least their potential influence, is very far-reaching. As a result, proficient hackers possess the power to wreak damage costing billions of dollars or even lives. Of course, many, if not most, hackers are at a small scale and essentially harmless, even if not ethical, but the potential is still here. On the other hand, hacking did have plenty of potential for good. In fact, many hackers do not consider other people to be hackers until they have been considered as such by an outstanding member of the hacker community. Regardless of the term hacker, extreme technological proficiency is clearly useful and ethical. The real hackers wake up a community with a distinct culture of their own and provide innovation and expertise to the technology world. Perhaps we should give them a little more respect. After all, they help to make the internet what it is today. Okay, that's my share.
Thank you very much. You see a lot of the analytical thinking in the sharings from Gia's piece. Thank you very much. All right, so we still have 5 more minutes. See who's going to pick up the last time slot. Oh, that's the last one. All right, that's good. I have 5 more minutes. So may I invite you to put into thinking what I share with you today, which is very important. Now, I hope you get ready the following. Before the beginning of next week, your team, which is formed, will have at least one proposal pop up from the 4 or 5 from your team. All right? And before the end of this week, I hope that you can hook up with another team to form your task force and advise your task force team to get another problem ready before the beginning of next week. So that when you come back to class on Thursday and also next 3 weeks, you have to do a lot of group work in class. And when you do the group work in class, do not forget the SRL experience that I expect you to develop in the second learning contract, even though you do not need to submit artifacts. Set your goal. Think about the tasks you have to do and how to accomplish them. Develop a plan of actions. Pick a way to make sure you can accomplish the task there. Use the method you select to accomplish the task. Monitor your progress. Evaluate your progress in time so that you can revise your action steps. Very important, simple, but it's not easy to put into practice, particularly when you're doing teamwork with a very short time span. Then, make sure, read this before you go to bed tonight. Running your PBL classes in the coming 3 weeks, we're going to start a new format. Starting next week, I'm going to do 10 minutes briefing, the second 10 minutes each team, organizing yourself in class, and then send up here a spokesman for your team to do only 1 to 2 minutes briefing. And then 30 minutes teamwork, 20 minutes for each team to come up here with 5 minutes briefing on one German compass. And the last 5 minutes, I'm going to wrap up the sections. In other words, you have to plan before you come to class. When you are in class, you need to work things out with briefing. And you must have a spokesperson from each team. And I've already given you the suggested roles that your team need to install in your team structure. The coordinator, the secretary, the liaison member, the tracker, the reporter, the timekeeper. Okay? Reporter sometimes the spokesperson. Alright, enjoy your work, and you're free to stay here and continue your team-based discussions. Alright, that's it for today's CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy, with day number 13 in the week number 7. Thank you.